And welcome to Today in the Napa Valley. And I'm your host, Chris Templeton with Influence Internet, an online marketing firm here in town. And we've got a fun show for you. We're going to talk about video and how to use it in your marketing. We are going to start with Tom Fancher from Talk Fusion. Welcome, Tom.
Good morning, Chris. How you doing?
I'm great. Hey, you know, one of the things that just blows me away, I've talked about this a number of times lately, but you look at YouTube, and the amount of content that is generated is mind-boggling. And what you do is you're a contributor to that, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah, we are. And it's not going to stop growing either.
It's not. Talk a little bit about what you do with Talk Fusion.
Well, Talk Fusion as a company developed a technology that would allow businesses, for-profit or non-profit, to actually deliver their video, whether it be online, website, email, social media, mobile devices, that sort of thing. So it's a very seamless way to deliver it. And it's funny you should mention YouTube, because Cisco Systems here in Northern California is predicting by the year 2015, 90% of all global internet traffic will be video. So it's not going to stop.
Yeah, I had not heard that statistic, but it's just mind-boggling how much of it is out there. Now, what I think people don't recognize is how useful it can be in business.
Actually incredible. You know, if people want to, I can have available for them how to grow your business with video, and later on I'll tell you where to go to get that info.
Okay.
But the statistics behind the reception when people receive your information via video is exponentially different than if they receive a text email, as an example.
Why is that? Can you?
Yeah, certainly. So it goes back to how the mind actually functions and what it does relative to internalizing information. Now, this is real, neuro.
No, but this is good. This is exactly where I wanted you to go. So
this is neuro stuff. So when the brain receives a text, or you're reading a text, it converts it to memory and emotion. And then it gets stored. So it has to convert text into images that get stored as memory and emotion. When someone sees video, it bypasses all the work that you have to do. So it immediately goes from the image right to memory and emotion, and it creates an internal response for individuals. So some of the statistics, they're not Talk Fusions. You can Google this if you want to.
Right.
Some of the statistics indicate that if you're watching a 1-minute video, that's equivalent to 1.8 million words of text. And one frame of that 1-minute video is equivalent to 3 full pages of text, because it just bypasses all the work that the brain has to do. So when a message is delivered today and it's delivered in video, people are more receptive because they don't have to work at getting that information. So that's one of the reasons why it's so impactful today.
So talk a little bit about how your product is different. I mean, I could just go throw up videos on YouTube and I could send them, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a conversation with a production manager this morning. YouTube is a great place to throw your information out there. And what you're doing is hoping that someone in the universe is going to be able to go to your particular video and watch the information. What Talk Fusion has, it's a repository for all your videos, and you are doing a market-specific application of the information. So if you have a community of people that you want your message to go to, and you don't want it to be shared by your competition or people that are against your particular product or service.
Which is a really good point, because if you're on YouTube and you put up a video, when it's done, YouTube's going to show you related videos which are likely to be competitors.
Absolutely. Here's a perfect example. There's a plastic surgeon in Northern California who started using Talk Fusion, and he was initially using YouTube video on his website. And once someone viewed the video, it took him to the YouTube community. And I said, well, this gentleman's name, I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing that when your video shows, you see all your competition on the right? And also there was someone suggesting that they not do plastic surgery. So he thought about it and he went, not having competition or not dealing with people that say you shouldn't do it is probably not where I want to have my message focused.
Well, and it's really a question of you might want your message there to be found because we know that YouTube's one of the biggest search engines there is. But what you're saying is if I'm delivering a video from an email or from my website, I certainly don't want on my website, if I'm a plastic surgeon, after my video shows, other plastic surgeons' videos.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so you can really control the message much more effectively.
That's really a great point. I never suggest to people that they refrain from putting their video on YouTube. It's
Right.
a good place to throw it out there because, I mean, you're going to be in the that big mass of information, so that when people do search, they might come across it. But here's something that's really an important statistic that I think any business, for-profit or non-profit, needs to understand. Because of the power of video and people's attention spans are so short, the statistic is that if someone is surfing the web for a product or service and they happen to come to a website that does not have video as a component part of their information, that person will on average spend 49 seconds there. Conversely, that if someone is surfing the web for that product or information and they come to a website that integrates video with their message, that person will spend 5 minutes and 50 seconds there. So if you're spending the money to build a website and you're driving traffic to your website, you want to keep people there so they can get the information that's available. So you have to have video in your website today without question.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, people forget that a website, being an online marketer, is really about, as one of my designers said years ago, it's the same as being in a mall. When I walk down the mall and I look in the different windows, my window better be one that makes you want to come in the door.
Absolutely.
And so that's the other thing that we need to keep in mind is, you know, from an overall marketing standpoint, if you start with an offline advertisement or a television advertisement, our whole thing is to generate more and more impressions. So getting from something that's as simple as a business card to your website with a video, it's exponential the amount of impact you've been able to have on somebody.
The percentage is 240% greater impact.
No kidding.
It's huge. It's
It is huge.
So, you know, what I do now with Talk Fusion is I'm simply the messenger. I'm trying to get people aware of the concept of how to deploy video. I just happen to be with a company that provides a product that when people hear the price, they say it's ridiculously low. We know that it's viral. We have a program to get the word out to people. It's a Facebook-like business model that allows people to use the product. In the process of using the product, other people will see it. As people see it and they see the impact, they're going to want to use it, and so on it goes.
Right. So let's look at how Talk Fusion is different than putting up a video on YouTube and sending an email with that.
Well, I think hugely different in a number of different ways. First of all, the Talk Fusion product, it's a product suite of 10 products that include mobile devices, video conferencing and broadcasting to an unlimited audience, video, email, video newsletters. We're the first company that uses video newsletters as part of the marketing process. Everyone uses newsletters, one form or another in business. Now you can include video in that newsletter. So, as an example, if let's say I'm inviting someone to an event, one of the products within the suite is a video autoresponder, which will allow you to program a message going out to the invitees over a period of 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 times with video. The impact and the response rate is so much higher using that people are stunned.
So you're saying that basically what you have the ability to do is to create a series of videos and have them sent over time?
Yes.
Automatically. We should disclose that you and I are in discussions about this, and I think it's a great product. But that piece on its own to me, the ability to start somebody on a sign up. This is what we do. Find out more about what we do, and then be able to deliver a video at whatever pace that you want. Man, oh man, that is huge. And we're going to take a break, but the bottom line is, from my standpoint, what makes this such a great product using video, but this campaign piece, is that they get to know you, and they go, oh man, this guy, I feel like I know him. And that's where I think that's a big piece of why you say 247%. I would imagine that with the campaign, it's 1,000% better.
It's huge. My wife talks about how when technology came into vogue and people start using it all the time to communicate,
right.
We went from a handshake looking you in the eye to texting and Twitters and all those sorts of things. What video has now done is it brings the intimacy back into the communication, and now you can deliver your message and a person will know who you are by looking at you, hearing you, and getting an impression who you are. That's huge in business.
We're with Tom Fancher from Talk Fusion talking about how to use video marketing in your business, and we're going to take a break. This is Today in the Napa Valley, the Napa Chamber Edition. I'm your host, Chris Templeton. We'll be back after these messages. Stay with us. And we are back with Today in the Napa Valley, the Napa Chamber Edition. I'm your host, Chris Templeton, with Influence Internet. I think that's who I'm with. I'm here with Tom Fancher from Talk Fusion. Tom, I want to dig a little bit deeper into using this as a sales tool. I think about, and look, I own a business, and you own a business, you're in sales, right?
Right.
And one of the things that I struggle with is, how do I do a better job of educating people about what I do? If I've given somebody a proposal, what do I do to make sure that they're just getting a constant stream as they're going of contact that's non-intrusive? And this really solves that, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple things about the product suite itself is that you can use it as an introductory tool, a video that says, hey, this is Chris Templeton. I met you at the Napa Chamber function. You asked for some information about. When I'm through talking, there's going to be a brief video that fully describes what we talked about. Now, we all know people that are in the prospecting business or in the business of generating revenue is the best time to talk to the person about the information that you provided is immediately after they look at what you sent them. This system, once someone views the video, you're going to get an email saying that it was just viewed. So you can pick up the phone and immediately talk to the person and just say, hey, this is Chris. And then you can have that conversation with them. What is it that you liked about what you saw?
And it's the kind of thing where now a lot of people still have some reticence about, well, you mean you'll know when I've seen the video? Now more than ever, it's becoming a far more accepted thing. Think about how, the emotion around spam 10 years ago versus now, it's just like, well, it filters it and I don't worry about it. And so knowing those kinds of things and being able to do follow-up it's everything, isn't it?
I think today, if you're having a conversation with someone and they've requested information, I consider it a courtesy to want to be able to respond to them while the information is fresh on their mind, as
right.
opposed to 3 weeks later when both of you have forgotten what the heck you talked about.
Right.
So it's just a nice way to do it. I haven't found anyone that finds it offensive. Is actually quite the other.
You and I were at a lunch for the chamber last Friday, and in my inbox, I think maybe an hour later, was a video of you at your desk saying, hey, enjoyed being at the lunch, nice to see you, something like that. And it's super personal, and it makes a mark. Boy, oh boy, is it about making a mark and remembering,
Absolutely. Who in business today is not interested in increasing the connection that they have with their current customers or
right.
their prospects? So in a business format, for example, how often does a business thank an individual for their patronage?
All right.
Not too often. How about simply having a video that when you come to the Meritage as an example. Someone stays for the evening. How about sending them from the general manager a thank you video for them staying there? And oh, by the way, having a brief 1-minute video that follows it says, here's a complimentary video. You can take a look around at the property, send this to your friends, let them see where you stayed. And oh, by the way, when that happens, it becomes viral, and the more people that get exposure to your intimate information, the greater the response there's going to be from a business standpoint. It's all about making that connection. So product is awesome.
I'm about to hop on my soapbox. Okay, ready? Marketing is about creating relationships, isn't it? And we seem to kind of gotten away from it. And we've gotten to a point, like you were saying earlier, where it used to be eye to eye and a handshake. Now it's kind of like, well, I could text them, and we've kind of gone away from that. And yet, what is the most effective in terms of sales and marketing is creating as personal of a relationship as you can, and being able to create these videos and then send them to multiple people. Talk about leverage.
Yeah.
It's
so here's the thing. I think that is, you talked about impressive. The most impressive part, in my opinion, and this is what drew me to Talk Fusion, is I've been the CEO of a couple of technology companies, so you would think I would be a techno guy.
Right.
Really, I'm not. I hardly know how to turn on a computer. The reality is, with this product suite, you do not have to be a computer scientist. There's one username and password that accesses 10 products, and it's very, very simple to implement and very, very simple to deploy. You can actually record into the system. You can upload video, and if you want to do, spend thousands of dollars for video, you can, or you can simply keep it on a personal level, just like you described.
Well, and one of the things, we do a video product, creating videos in my company, and one of the things that we talk about with clients all the time is, look, you don't want to be super polished because it feels like corporate, and yet you don't want to be in a cave where
exactly
it's distracting you from the message, and this is a nice in between.
Very nice, and again, simple to deploy.
Can you believe that we've got to wrap it up?
You're right, Chris.
Told you to go fast, Tom.
It felt like 2 minutes.
Tom Fancher with Talk Fusion. People can reach you, and a great way to see this product in action is at connectwithtom.com.
Yeah, it's a landing page, and it's designed to. It actually uses one of our videos. It uses one of our e-subscription forms that gathers the email address. And what I will do is you just indicate what level of information that you want, and I'll make sure that you get it once you sign in.
Whether it's to improve customer communication, develop new prospects, enhance fundraising efforts, or referral income. Tom, I really appreciate you being here. We'll get you back in the not too distant future. From Talk Fusion, Tom Fancher, you can be reached at 294-2666, and you can also see the product in action at connectwithtom.com.
Chris, thanks so much. It's been fun.
Great having you, Tom. This is Today in the Napa Valley, the Napa Chamber edition. I'm Chris Templeton, and we'll be back after this. Stay with us.